Welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I think we are going to plan and also go through my January TBR. First off, we have to plan. So we are kind of gonna look on our bookshelf, figure out what books we have, and then we are also going to go through my Goodreads TBR because it is a goal of mine this year to be a little more aware of what is on my TBR and clean that up a little bit. I have a little cool calendar that I'm going to use this year to plan my TBR a little bit. Between looking at my bookshelf, figuring out what's on my digital TBR, and also using that calendar to kind of plan things out, hopefully will keep me on track this year with being more aware of what I'm reading, which is a big goal of mine this year. Last year, I went into a 6-month book slump around March, very early on in the year, and we do not want that to happen this year. Don't want it to happen this year. I'm still in my PJs, so I'm going to go get ready because I do have to run a couple errands today. So we're going to do that first, and then we are going to figure this out together. Okay, I'm finally done getting ready. Kind of just wander the bookshelves. We have this bookshelf that we are gonna go through, and then we also have this bookshelf to the left. That is behind the camera that we're also going to go through, and I'm going to be taking into consideration some book releases in January as well. Might be a January or might be a February TBR. We're going to go through the physical books and figure out what the heck is going on. Okay, so first off, we have Onyx Storm coming out, the third book of the Empyrean series. So that is definitely going to be one on my TBR this January. I think we're gonna try to get a mixture of genres in there, since another goal of mine is this year is to kind of expand my horizons with books I've never read before, or genres I used to be into that I haven't really been into lately. So we're gonna expand the horizons this year. I'm trying to be more aware of what I'm reading, especially when it comes to genres and authors. So we're going to try to mix it up a bit. I'm gonna kind of look through here and see if anything piques my interest. First of all, these are a must. I'm going to be doing a reread. I do have the books, however, I think I'm going to be listening to it on audiobook. I'm going to get through the stories faster that way. So we're going to be having a Kindle read, a physical read, and an audiobook read at all times for 2020-25. I have not listened to the audiobooks, and I've heard they're very good. Opportunity to reread these. I chose some from the book stand behind here, but we have King of Pride and King of Greed. I don't have the 4th book after this one, so I need to get it. I am going through Anna Huang's collection. If you saw my TikTok, I ended up in the book slump after I read the Twisted series. I had dove straight into her next series, which I just could not get through because I was in such a book slump. So I actually can't remember if I've read this one. I think I did start this one, but I don't know if I ended up finishing it. If I did, I don't remember. So we might be reading it again. We are going to go with King of Pride and King of Greed. So I just realized I don't really have a great selection of books when it comes to authors and genres. I need to expand my horizons in terms of authors and genres desperately. So glad that's a goal of mine this year. We're gonna roll with what we have in the meantime. We're going to expand our horizons through Kindle and audiobooks. Okay, so we are back on the bed. I was going to sit at my desk because I feel like it might be a little easier going through the digital reads that way, but my cat is sitting in my chair. So it doesn't look like that would be happening. He's very adamant about sitting in that chair. I got a new desk chair and he literally loves that thing, and it's like a teddy fabric, and he will not leave that chair. So we're just going to let him lay low. So these are the physical reads that I picked out. These two will be audiobooks, reminder. These two will be physical. might only be this one because I might have already read this. These are the physical reads so far, plus Onyx Storm, obviously, which will be shipped when it releases. Next, we're going to be going through my digital TBR on Goodreads. I am on Goodreads and I am on Fable, and I kind of cross-reference both and I update both. So you can find me there on Goodreads and Fable. We're gonna go through the Goodreads TBR and see what we can find. I just remembered, really just got my December Darling in, and I did not get to it before the end of December, but I'm still gonna read it anyway because I am super excited to read it, and it is a novella, so this will be added to the pile. Guys, I just realized I have 637 books I want to read. That is a long list. It needs to be condensed tremendously. I am thinking maybe a self-help book. I do have a couple on my shelf, but there is a couple I have had in mind that I really want to read. And I'm gonna try to go into my digital TBR and try to find some of the self-help books I have in here and see what we can find. Guys, I think I really want to listen to or read, I don't know which one yet. I might listen to Loud by Afualo, because I've heard such great things about the book. I love her. I feel like I want to get into some biographies, and I have not read a biography in a very long time. I believe the last time I've read a biography was high school. Last time I read a biography was when I was in college, which was about 8 years ago. Maybe we'll do Loud by Afualo, and I think we're going to cap it at that because I don't believe I can read that many books straight out the gate. We're gonna aim low and start with a low TBR, and then if we need to add some more, we will add some more. I double checked and I did end up reading King of Pride, and I think I do vaguely remember now. Might have to just skim through, kind of like refresh my brain. So I did take King of Pride off the list. This is my process of picking my TBR, and it is a process, which is really why I do TBR videos on TikTok, just because I switch them so often. But this year we're gonna stick to a plan. We have these three right now, and I think I am going to add King of Sloth. I believe that's the correct one after this one. And we're going to see where we go from there. Next, I want to show you guys my little calendar that I'm going to be using to plan the TBR. So I kind of wanted to show you guys. So when we open this, also, I am going to be junk journaling this year, so I'm going to be keeping this. The cutest little mailer I've ever seen. The place that I got this calendar from is called Bull in a Bookshop, and I found her on TikTok. Literally the cutest stuff I've ever seen. So what we're going to be doing is the calendar looks like this. It's called a Very Bookish calendar. It's so cute. She has all of the little images for the month on there, and it is adorable. I am a sucker for aesthetic bookish things, so when I saw this on TikTok, I was like, I need to have it. And Bull in a Bookshop, I went down a whole rabbit hole. So many cute things. You open it and it has your whole TBR that you can plan with, and then if you also go to here, we have all of the review stuff you need for the month, and here's your little tracker that you can keep track of, and it is literally the most adorable thing I have ever seen in my entire life. Adorable. This is what we'll be using to kind of keep reviews and tracking. Also, just because I like to go a little more in depth with my reviews, she also has these review tablets individual. Sorry, my dog is literally squeaking her toy. We're going to be using these to review books more in depth, and I think after books I'm going to put this in the book, because that way you can go back and kind of review if you go back on your bookshelf and look and see what your thoughts were. And they had a bunch of these in different colors as well, but I am obsessed with bows right now. And look at these little bows. They're just so cute. It has like a summary, your favorite character, tropes, spice level, your thoughts, and if you would read again. It's literally the cutest thing ever. So go check out Bowl in a Bookshop. Shout out. On top of that, she also gave me a free little washi tape. How cute is that? And it's literally little olives with hearts on them. The cutest washi tape I've ever seen in my entire life. But we've got that all done. So I think I'm just gonna put January's TBR. I'm gonna start up here. I'm not gonna fill this whole thing out. I'm just gonna fill out as we go. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna add these to this. I'm moving on to this, and I think personally I am going to just write them down as I go, because Lord only knows that as a mood reader, I'm taking this out, I would fill this whole thing out and then my mood reading would kick in and I would have all the wrong books there. I don't know if anybody else hates this, but I literally hate whiting out something that I do in pen. I can't do it. Absolutely drives me up a wall. We're going to just fill these out as we go, and then I will fill this out at the end of the month. I finally picked all my books out, filled them out in my little calendar. Now we're going to go through the final picks that I picked for the month. I don't have all of them here with me. I might end up buying the next book after this because I do not have it right now, but I've been wanting to buy it, but I was waiting till the time came to read it. So I will be buying that. Here are the physical books I'm going to read for the month. Now we're just going to kind of go through them. These are obvious. These are going to be a reread because Onyx Storm is coming out. So I need to refresh my brain. I'm not normally one to reread books, but in this case, a lot happened here. And I don't really remember the details. I remember a lot of the details of this because this was tragic. This, I couldn't tell you. Specifically, this one is needing to be reread. This one I'm just reading for funsies because of Onyx Storm coming out, and we're all about to be devastated, I'm sure. Next is King of Greed. I talked about this where I wanted to get back into reading Anna Huang's books because I've been trying to go down her whole collection because I was obsessed with the Twisted series. So this will be the next book, and I believe this one is about Dominic. Also gonna kind of go back and refresh on King of Pride since I'm sure there are some characters I need refreshing on. I remember I really liked the first two books of this series. I've heard that it gets better starting with these books, and I believe the next three books after this is King of Greed, King of Sloth, and then King of Envy, which just came out I believe last year. So we're going to start with King of Greed and King of Sloth, see what happens there, but might just get to King of Greed. I'm going to try to get to King of Sloth. We'll see what happens. Lastly, probably going to listen to the audiobook, but I might also buy the book just because I love the cover and the cover's genius. It's so pretty. Listen to / read Loud by Afualo. Really just got back into audiobooks. I've never listened to a person narrate their own book, so this is going to be a very different experience for me, which is kind of why I want to listen to the audiobook rather than read it. Very curious to see how that goes. I might become obsessed with biographies and autobiographies after this. Who knows? Thanks guys for coming along with me on my TBR journey. Kind of got to see how I do my TBRs, how I'm going to be doing my TBRs going forward since I have no real set routine to do TBRs until this year. it is a goal of mine to keep this up, and I'm gonna have you guys hold me accountable. And thanks for coming along with me. To see you in the next video. Bye.